Hey everyone, and welcome to Already Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Star Trek, the original series, Season 3, Episode 21. It is called The Cloudminders. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always, and I'm forgetting what season we're on there for a second. So, this is Stardate 5818.4. I've never done that before. I noticed it in this corner of my eye on the wiki, and I thought, I'm just going to say that. We'll make this a thing. I'll say the Stardate now for each episode.
Now you decide.
Yeah, I'll
Four
decide.
episodes from the end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll keep it going into
Oh, you'll forget when that
next gen. I don't know. Anyway, so once again, this is the second time, at least this season, where there's a. I mean, I think the last time it was a disease. This time it's a plague for plant life. But all the same, they're going to another planet to get a resource that'll stop said crisis.
Yes.
And obviously, there's going to be complications in retrieving said
The
material.
last one was only a couple of episodes ago, right?
It was, yeah. So immediately I went, oh, this is weird. This feels like the exact same kind of plot setup. And much like the last time, you never see the planet that's in danger. You never see what the threat's doing. It's just that's just the reason why they're at this planet.
It's just happening.
But regardless, they beam down, and this is a unique planet in that they've got like a sort of upper class living in the clouds, and then you've got the workers who are down on the ground actually digging the materials up. But Kirk and Spock get attacked by these miners down below who are fighting for their rights. Essentially, they wanted to actually take them as hostages. But then, lead cloud guy comes down, Advisor Placis, and he comes down with some guards, and they kind of rescues them and takes them back up to the Cloud City, and kind of like, there's ongoing disputes, nothing you should concern yourself with, but we'll help you get your shipment. We'll go down with in force, and we'll get your Zanite, which is the material they need to cure
I'm
this
impressed you remembered that.
plague. They said it like 50 goddamn times, so it's stuck.
That's fair. That's fair enough.
That said, I have to check. The name of the planet was Ardana. They didn't say that as much.
All I remember is troglodytes. Oh my god.
Troglodytes, yes. Those
got
were
sick of
the
hearing
miners, yes. The ones down in the planet were called troglodytes. Actually, yeah, yeah. So,
Couldn't tell you what the cloud dwellers were called.
um, um, they live in the floating city of Stratus. Oh, Ardanan. That's what they were called.
I don't remember hearing that at all.
The Ardanan Society. Oh no, that's the Ardana's the planet. So Ardanian is just everyone. Hold on.
Yeah.
Specifically, the ones living in this. I'm not. It's not sticking out in this description on Wiki. I can't quite see it, but
Maybe they didn't have a name.
maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't. But yeah. So it's kind of like becoming early on in the episode. It becomes kind of clear what the point of this episode is. Is that at first they're acting like, oh, they're savages who have at war, but it's becoming kind of clear as we go on that you're kind of the 1% up here treating everyone else like shit and saying, no, they're workers, they're meant to be down there doing the labour. And it's actually Spock that kind of like, this is strange, you're making them do all the work, but they're getting none of the benefits of this planet and of the
Yeah,
riches.
I thought they kind of really undermined their point when they made it that they actually were, intellectually inferior.
Yeah, no, because later on in the episode there's this big giant cop out where it turns out that they are inferior by about 20% because of the gases that they're inhaling while they're down there working, and it takes their intelligence down by about 20%, on average compared to the rest of the population, and it increases their emotions, so their rage and things like that are a bit more higher up.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And then it becomes about, well, we can make like simple filters, simple masks that'll go through this. So it feels like a big plot cop out to just give it a solution like this. It feels like an even bigger cop out to then say that the gas effects aren't permanent. Like anyone, even if they've been working down there for 10 years, put on a mask, they'll be fine like in hours. Like they'll be back to normal in hours.
Yeah.
All feels a bit on the easy side. But that's the so yeah. There's some disputes. The head dude Placis, he doesn't want to like entertain the idea of filters. They're just inferior to us. So I'm like, okay, maybe you can deal with some like outright racism here potentially, but it never really does. It never really. I feel like it brings up the subject that it's addressing is quite clear what it's trying to like bring
Yeah.
up, but it never actually really tries to do or say anything about it. Other than just clearly saying, no, this is wrong that they're doing this. But then it never really does anything else.
No, it doesn't. It just kind of happens, and they were like, "Oh, okay, problem solved."
They by the end of the episode they basically prove that this happened because they don't want to believe it. So Kirk kind of goes off book and does like a sort of risky, this could get him court-martialed kind of mission, which is
by kidnapping the political head of this planet.
yes. Well, even before that, he already risks himself by going to negotiate with the leader of the troglodytes, the woman who used to be part of the upper class. Because this is the thing. So Placis has this beautiful assistant who has almost no clothes on, who comes out. I went, okay, I wonder. Here we go. Kirk's love interest for the episode. Then it
No,
turns out
that's his daughter, isn't it?
daughter assistant. I don't know. She was standing next to him. Like,
I'm pretty sure that's his daughter.
whoever she is, this was irrelevant to what I'm about to say. The point is that I was like, okay, so Kurt's going to put the moves on her, and then I'll give it the credit here. The twist is that she's actually got the hots for Spock. I'm like, all right, she's at the Spock, but it turns out the leader of the Troglodytes is also an attractive woman who doesn't necessarily fall for Kirk, but she tries to assassinate him because before they fall out with the Placis and go back to the ship before Kirk goes on his rogue mission. They're in quarters on the Cloud City, and the assassin woman, I think Varna, her name is, I think. Let me just double check her name here.
That sounds in the ballpark.
Vanna. It was just Vanna. She sneaks into his room when Kirk's asleep, goes over to his bed with one of the most fake-looking blades I've ever seen in my life.
It looks so plastic, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because from a distance, I thought, that's a cool blade, because it was sort of like a wrist attachment that come over, it was almost like something like a ninja would wear. But then once she started struggling with them, you could just see how cheap and plastic
it looks like the sort of thing you buy for a kid on Halloween.
It does. It absolutely does. But she's wrestling with him in the bed, and he kind of flips her around, and he's got her pinned down. And I'm like, this is an assassination attempt, but it's oddly starting to feel kind of sexual. And then they start sort of debating, and he starts getting kind of like jokey about it, because and she's like refusing to, she's just trying to kill him, and she's refusing to talk, and she's like, oh, let me. I was like, I don't know, I'm quite enjoying myself, this is quite pleasant. And I'm like, okay. So even when he's been assassinated, he's pulling the moves. I mean, it's at least different from normal, where the woman's just infatuated by Kirk and we have the romance angle. And she does actually betray him later on, because when he goes down to make a deal, she lures him to the cave and then immediately double crosses him and is like, okay, we've got a hostage now. Excellent. Yeah. But then he wrestles his phaser back, he blocks them in the cave, and he gets Spock to beam in Placis into the
without
cave.
Warning, which specifies a lot.
Yes, which is breaking all sorts of rules. But unlike not last episode, 2 episodes ago, when I was complaining about Kirk blatantly just breaking rules and it just seemed weird and out of character, here it doesn't feel out of character because he's clearly trying to. Because it's funny actually, it was the episode with the same sort of plot at the start where it was like, oh, the other planet needs this thing. It was the same sort of setup.
It was, yeah.
Here though, he's trying to get this shipment, and he's trying to do it properly. He's tried to talk to him into just negotiating with these people and maybe improving things. He's tried talking to both sides, and they've both fobbed him off. So here what he's trying to do is just demonstrate that no, this gas is real. It's making them dumber. It's not you're superior, and Placis doesn't believe this. So he takes a risk in beaming him in. But even then, he's not threatening violence on him. He's not immediately going, "I'll just have to do this by force." He's making a demonstration.
No, it's true, but I do like that this does kind of feel like a sequel to that episode, in that they keep addressing his rather blunt negotiation skills.
Oh sure, yes. I would never accuse him of being subtle in his negotiation skills, certainly.
Yeah.
But he beams them in, and of course eventually they do get affected by the gas, and they're both getting angry. And it's actually Vanna who eventually grabs the communicator and says, "Hey, Enterprise, help us! They're going to kill each other. Beam us!" And that kind of solves things.
And then they're immediately fine.
Yeah, they're immediately fine. Within seconds of being beamed up.
They're like, "Oh, what are we doing there?"
Yeah, and then so they convince the Placis to hand out these masks, and Vanna's like, I'm going to stay and make sure and keep negotiating for rights and equality amongst our people, so that everyone. But the bad guy's still kind of like, no, we're still superior, like we're still. So I mean, I guess it's realistic in that he's not just solved the entire dispute. Essentially, no, he's helped them climb over one hurdle.
But he's given them a chance, hasn't
he? Yes.
So
So at least I'll appreciate that that's a little bit more realistic. That he's not just completely solved this planet's problem. That'd be like someone coming down to Earth right now and solving, like, I don't know, take your pick. North Korea, Russia, I don't know, whatever one, whatever one you want to pick, and it's just done. Like next day, oh no, everyone's all happy, and
Yeah.
and everything's done. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That this is more akin to coming down and just, I don't know, making sure Trump actually pays attention in meetings. I don't know. Pick your first hurdle.
Take the nuclear button away from him.
Yeah, take the button away from him, please. For love of all things, take the button away from him. I like the idea that Trump sits in his office and to press his nuclear button, he's got one of those like little foam hammers that kids have, so he can whack it with a hammer.
I can imagine it. No, but Joy, he just has a really long stick to poke you with because he can't bother getting out of his chair.
Yeah. I can buy that. Yeah, so this is just a really, really mediocre episode. I wouldn't say it's a terrible episode. It's just really, really mediocre.
No. There's some really nice images, like the shots of the city in the clouds. And there's some really nice edits in terms of when it does the scene change, and it just, it cuts these, these vista shots that I thought were really nice. Surprisingly, you don't get those very often.
Yeah, there was a couple of nice shots here or there. I think the problem with this one is it does this giant cop out, but its real main crime is it's just a little bit boring. It feels like it goes in circles a little bit before it like kind of ramps up towards the end.
Yeah.
I mean, the actual subject being discussed is fine, and I would share some of the criticisms from the last time we had a similar like setup, is that we never really see the planet that's in danger. We never see, it's like, oh, we've got a countdown to deliver this material, and we're supposed to like buy that, and like I get why they do that, but doing it twice this close together just feels extra, critical, as opposed to just being regular critical that I was in the first time this happened.
This is better than the first time it happened, though, as an episode.
As an episode overall, it is better, but it's definitely not a shining moment.
I think the key thing that makes it better compared to the other one, just in regards to the planet in danger, is that that's actually relevant all the way through. It's always still about that. Like even to the end, he's trying to solve this dispute so that he can get access to the material.
Yeah, the episode doesn't forget that that's what the point is. Yeah, no, that's
whereas last time that just got forgotten because of Robot Lady.
Oh yeah, halfway through the episode, that was just like, let's stop thinking about that.
Yeah.
So that's a positive. Again, it's very lukewarm. It's kind of like, it was a fine one to have. I'm not going to lie, I fell asleep in the middle of it and then had to watch the second half, like, after I woke up. Like, that did happen.
Yeah.
That did happen. And that's not to say that I don't fall asleep during good things sometimes, because sometimes you're just tired, but I think the episode might have contributed. Somewhere between the fifth conversation about Zenite and Troglodytes, I think I dozed off.
It's understandable.
Yeah. So... yeah, not painful by any means, not an embarrassing episode, just a really lukewarm. And I think the other thing is, I think a lot of the ideas have been done better elsewhere, or more importantly, done better kind of already in Star Trek at this point.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where you fall down on it. And honestly, the relationship with Spock and the daughter never really goes anywhere. Like, they have a conversation.
That's it. You have that one bit at the start.
Yeah.
And then you have her telling her dad that, oh no, I'm actually quite into that Spock fella.
Yeah, and then at the end she's like, I'm going to go down there and be like almost an ambassador to try and improve things by being someone from up here that's try to help.
Yeah.
And not just be in my cage in the clouds, and that's it. And yeah, I do like the idea of Spock having a problem. Like, he's the first one who like mentions that this is like unjust, and I like the idea that he's thinking this purely from a completely logical perspective, that it just makes no sense. Like just from a pure logical perspective, the idea that X amount of the population are doing all the work and receiving none of the benefits, to him as a man of logic, is a problem. Because I feel like you could easily go the other way, where a man of logic understands it from the other like side's perspective, where it's like, oh yes, this is efficient and you get all the rewards, but no, Spock is purely a fair man of logic, and it just doesn't work. It's like, this is ridiculous. So I like that. I like that. Yeah, logically, that's just you're just being greedy. That's all this is.
Pretty much.
And sadly, it's very relevant to the world and has been kind of forever. But
what can you do though?
Yeah, other species have got it down though. Dinosaurs that had it all right.
I mean, we assume.
I don't think they were effing each other over for a percentage.
I don't know. Wouldn't put it past some of them.
That was a aliens reference
shifty.
for anyone, by the way, who didn't get that.
I think pterodactyls are pretty shifty.
They're shifty, but are they 1%ers?
I think they are because they got the sky, ain't they? They're like, look, screw you. We'll go where we want.
We'll see if they get close enough to that T-Rex though. It's done. It's just done.
I can definitely see a pterodactyl dive bombing a T-Rex just to piss it off.
Anyway, what were we even talking about at this point? So yeah, it was a mediocre episode.
It was.
But not the worst. Again, like I feel like we're in this kind of pattern of just kind of really middling.
I feel like at this
episodes.
point we're kind of just waiting for it to be done. Like they've run out of steam, right? And they've got like, okay, well, we know we've only got X amount left to make. Let's just kind of get them done.
Oh, you think that was their attitude making them?
Yeah, no, I do. For a lot of this last handful, a lot of these ones that aren't offensively bad, they're like, do you know what? We got 6 more, 8 more. Let's just get them done.
Yeah, you may be right. I mean, especially if they knew they'd been cancelled and they knew they weren't coming back. Maybe that was kind of the attitude at the time. I don't know. But hey, so if that doesn't get you excited for the next one, I don't know what will. But yeah, we will be back next week with the next episode of Star Trek, and we're getting very close to the end of season 3. So let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Go over to patreon.com/MailFuzzTV if you want to support everything we do here. You can sub for as little as $1 per month, and you get these episode reviews a week early. You get a bunch of other stuff, and you get to support us and feel warm and fuzzy on the inside. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you very much once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching Star Trek and Sci-Fi TV, guys, and we'll see you next time.